Root Letter is a visual novel with an amazing premise. You're cleaning out your room at your parents' house, and you find a stack of letters that you received from Aya Fumino, your high school pen pal. You had a bit of a crush on her during that era, but the letters petered out and, you never heard from her again. Except, you find a letter from her that you never noticed before. A letter without a postmark. When you open it, you find a stunning confession. Aya claims that she has killed someone, and that you will never hear from her again. Unable to let go, you travel to Matsue, a city in Japan's Shimane Prefecture. Here, you start to dig up as much of Aya's past as you can, using clues from her letters to reconstruct her high school life, who her friends were, and ultimately what happened. But will you be satisfied with your journey? This review is meant to help you find out. First, I want to talk about the art. So I played Root Letter Final Answer. The original art for this game was lovingly hand-drawn, and you can still play with that art if you want to. I actually did not know that, so I ended up using Last Answer's default art, which is made up of still photographs that I personally find hilarious. You can switch back and forth, so definitely be aware, you'll be able to choose the visual experience you want. The hand-drawn art is more elegant and ultimately better, in my opinion, but I couldn't help enjoying the ridiculous photos. Second, without spoilers, I do want to talk about the game's plot and its endings. Root Letter has 5 different endings, which you can discover by choosing different responses to Aya's letters as you reminisce about your correspondence. These endings truly run the gamut from wholesome to horrible to truly bizarre. All of them stretch credibility, although honestly I didn't let that stop me. However, if you are getting into Root Letter to solve a mystery and have a story that actually makes sense, I actually don't recommend this experience for you. Root Letter is very much a tale where you make some choices, but ultimately you are just along for the ride. As for the quality of story, I have mixed feelings. When I take a step back and I look at what I played, I'm really not sure that Root Letter is all that great. The storyline is truly weird. You end up literally bullying Aya's high school friends, playing on their insecurities to force information out of them that they don't want to give you. One of the game's mechanisms, Max Mode, actually has you choosing how aggressive to get with your subjects. Some of the people you interrogate, naturally, seem to hate you after this experience, but others are weirdly friendly. I am still not sure how I feel about that, especially because a lot of the insecurities that you prey on are physical ones. One of the characters has a toupee, another one used to be fat, and he clearly feels awkward about it, and it just feels bad to be bullying these people about those aspects of themselves, whether they're real people or not. It's gross. At the same time, playing Root Letter made me develop an intense attachment to the game's location and characters that I truly do not know how to explain. The setting in Matsue is so utterly charming that I would go there in a heartbeat. You can tell that aside from its mysterious plotline, Root Letter is actually a love letter to the place where it's set, from its restaurants and inns to its landmarks and its public service buildings. I truly loved this aspect of the game and this depth of setting, this sense of place. That's the primary feeling that's really stuck with me about Root Letter, even as the actual storylines are starting to fade. Also, even though Aya's former friends are not the nicest and your interactions with them are deeply flawed, you somehow come to love them too. The fondness I ultimately felt for the cast I do think speaks to the power this game has, even though I would not by any means call it a perfect game. So, do I recommend Root Letter? That truly depends. If you love visual novels, then I think that you'll enjoy this one just as an example of the medium. If you're looking for a mystery or for a story that truly comes together, I'm gonna say no. This one really doesn't deliver on that front. If you're open to a deeply flawed but interesting experience that makes you feel extremely connected with a town in Japan that you've never heard of before playing this game, which is what happened to me, then Root Letter is absolutely for you. And that's my review of Root Letter, Final Answer. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, happy gaming.